back to Module 9.5. In this lecture video, I'm gonna show you how to use linear equation to solve um, a very common type of word problems. Okay, this is what I like to call the translation problem. Okay, or excuse me, not translation problem, the comparison problems, because these type of problems always talking about something is more than something else or something is less than something else. So we are comparing between two items. So rather than asking you to think about what it says, I'm just going to ask you to translate what it says. Okay? And we will kind of try to comprehend the problem from a different perspective. You know, um, Mr. Chen would never say, "Oh man, think about what it says." No, the problem actually kind of tells you. We just got to learn how to decipher it. So the first thing you do is to find the sentence or phrase that contains the translation words. Well, what are they? The translation words that we're looking for are the what I call the operation words: the sum, the more than, less than, product, times. You know, words that translate into some sort of operation. So let's read the first sentence, okay? The total cost of a jacket and a shirt was $75.08. So in this phrase, does it have words like more than or less than or times? No. All right, so let's move on. If the price of the jacket was $5.32, oh, less than, right there. See that word right there? So, got to find my translation word because step number two says from that sentence, you get two items that are being compared. Who is less than who? The price of the jacket was $5.32 less than the shirt. See, after the word shirt, there's a comma. Okay, so that actually, so the comma is used to separating from the sentence I need to translate to the question itself. Because if you keep on reading to the question mark, this sentence is actually asking you what you need to find. What was the price of the jacket? Okay, this phrase is asking you what you need to look for in this problem. So before the word what, got to be what I need to translate. So if the price of the jacket was $5.32 less than the shirt, okay, comma, what was the price of the jacket? So a lot of students read these two phrases together. You actually need to read them separately because this phrase is just simply asking you what you need to look for at the end. Need to look for the price of the jacket. All right, so who are we comparing? From this sentence, you get two items that are being compared. I'm comparing between jacket and the shirt. So I'm going to write it down. The name of my two items, jacket and the shirt. So from this sentence that I just highlighted, I need to translate whatever which item is listed at the end of the translating sentence is always going to be X. So in this sentence, okay, jacket is at the beginning. The word shirt, which is my second item, is listed at the end. So we will always let the second item to be X when we translate for two items. So once I know the shirt is X, I need to go back and translate for the word jacket. See, it says jacket was. Was is a past tense of is. Jacket is. Remember, sometimes the word is means equal sign. So jacket is or jacket was means jacket equal. When I see $5.33, I write $5.33. When I see the word less than, remember, we write subtraction sign where in front of what we just wrote. All right. The price of the jacket is $5.32 less than the shirt. So subtract the shirt. The shirt we already say is X. So that means my jacket is X minus $5.32. When I see 5.32, I write 5.32. When I see the word less than, I write subtraction sign in front of it. Less than who? The shirt, which is already called the X. Okay, that's how we translate for the two items. Now, again, there are other ways to do this for you to think about it, but I'm gonna give you a fair warning. If you're trying to do this problem by thinking about what they're trying to say and come up with the right answer, that's fine. But quickly, when we hit into the next couple sections in Module 9, none of that will actually work because these application problem does get a little bit more difficult. So that's why I like to train you how to translate for the items. So later on, everything else gets a little bit easier. So the 3 steps I wrote here is only translating for the item. So how do I write the equation now? Most students say, well, how do I set it up, the equation? The truth is, the problem already told you. Our job is translate for the items. So if you read after the question mark, it is simply asking you to write your answer as simplified fraction or decimals. Okay, so that is really not part of the word problem. So apparently, from the word if to the question mark is what I translate. Excuse me, from the if to the comma is what I translate. From the comma to the question mark is what it's asking. So that means I need to go back to the first sentence. As a matter of fact, the very first sentence already told you how to write out the equation. It literally says the total cost of jacket and the shirt was $75.08. That means the jacket and the shirt together means plus is equal to $75.08. That's actually how I need to write out my equation. This is what my equation is going to look like. So that's why I keep on saying our job is to translate. Okay, our job is to translate. Our job is to translate what each item is. So I'm trying to move them over. It didn't work. So what did I translate for the jacket? I'm going to purposely put my plus sign here in red. What did we translate for a jacket? We translate jacket to be x minus 5.32 plus what did I translate for the shirt, which is x, together equal to 75.08. So tell me why when students write x minus 5.32 equal to 75.08 is always going to be wrong. Because x minus 5.32 only representing what? The jacket. The problem never said the jacket is 75 and 8 cents. The problem literally says the total cost of jacket and the shirt together is 75. All right, just be aware of that. All right, let's solve this equation. X plus x is 2x. Negative 5.32 still here, equal to 75.08. So in module 9.1, 2, and 3, I show you how to solve equations involving with decimal, where we use a lot of calculator, because by now, know how to use calculator does kind of make things a little bit easier. So move the negative 5.32 to the other side. That would be 2x equal to 75.08 plus 5.32. I'm going to write it out for you. So combine like term, that's 2x equal to, let's see, 75.08 plus 5.32 is that 80.4. So to get x by itself, divide both sides by 2. That will be 40.2. And who does the x represent in this word problem? X representing the shirt. So the shirt is 40.2. But what was the question asking? What was the price of who? The jacket. So I need to find the jacket, which is x minus 5.32, or we can say this is 40.2 minus 5.32, which will tell me the price of the jacket. So 40.2 minus 5.32, the price of the jacket, 34.88. right, so let's try again, okay? Let's try again. Let me move this down. This one is slightly different, but still same concept on how to translating. The classic speedboat is now selling for $1,000 low, less than. I see the word less than. I gotta translate that. Less than 2 times its original price. Period. So right away, this very first sentence contains my translation word, so I got to translate. So who is less than who here in this phrase? Excuse me. Who is less than who? Are we comparing between two different kinds of speedboats? Are we comparing a speedboat with something else, like a car or something like that? Nope. None of that. It's simply saying a classic speedboat is now selling for $1,000 less than 2 times its original price. So literally, it's trying to comparing the selling price with its original price. That's what we're comparing. We're not comparing two different boats. All right, so my two items are selling price and original price. Okay, so since I'm comparing two items, I'm gonna let the second item always to be X, which is my original price. I'm gonna say that's X. So selling price is selling price for, when I see 1,000, I write 1,000. When I see less than, I write subtraction sign in front of what I just wrote. When I see 2, I write 2. Where do I put the 2 at? In front of the subtraction sign I just wrote, because I'm going backwards. 2 times who? Its original price, which I already say is X. Okay? So that's translation. Now let's read the next sentence. See, I did not even finish reading the whole thing. I just read what I need to translate first. The next sentence says, if the selling price is now 14,000, comma, if you keep reading, what was the speedboat's original price? So that last bit from comma to the question mark is who you need to find. That means from the word if to the comma got to be what I need to write out my equation. It literally says selling price is now 14,000. So that means selling price is means what? Equal sign $14,000. Literally says selling price is 14,000. Well, what's the big deal? What did we just translate for the selling price? Right up here. 2x minus 1,000. Selling price, right? When I say selling price, I write 2,000 minus x, 2x minus 1,000 because that's what I just translated. Is, I write equal, is who? 14,000. There you go. That's your equation. Translate for its item, and the problem will tell you how to write it out. The whole thing. Okay? It's not how to set it up. It's how to translate for your item so you can write the whole thing out together. All right, let's solve for x. Variable term is 2x. Let it stay here on the left side. So move the 1,000 over. So that will be 2x equals 1,000 move over to the other side, become positive 1,000. 14,000 plus one more 1,000 is 15,000. Divide both sides by 2. 15,000 divided by 2. My answer, $7,500. Okay, so that's what x is. Now, who does x represent? The x representing the original price, and the problem does want me to find the original price, so my final answer got to be $7,500. Voila, that's it. All right. Now, so the two examples here are are comparing between two items. Now, anything more than two items, then I got to literally compare them. Okay. So, comparing more than two items, how do you translate? Well, find the sentences that contains the translation words. Still, from that sentence, you get the items that are being compared. Then, comparing the items and determine the smallest amount. So remember now, okay, Remember, the previous two problem, I'm comparing between two items. So if you right now hold your finger up, hold up two fingers. If you can hold up two fingers, how many gap is between the two fingers? Got to be one gap. And that one gap means one sentence. One translating sentence for two items. So now if you can hold three fingers, if you compare between three items, how many sentences you will need to translate? Well, three fingers, three terms is two gaps, two spaces, or two plus sign or minus signs outside the parenthesis. That's how we distinguish terms. So the gaps on your finger is how you distinguish between how many fingers. So if you got two gaps, that's two sentences you'll be looking for to translate for three items. So right now, this problem says on October 16, the Moore family received 23 pieces of mail consisting of ads, magazines, bills, and letters. So that's four items right there. It tells me right away. The first thing to tell me right away, these four items together, hold out four fingers so you can see there are three gaps. You'll be looking for three sentences or three phrases. The problem tells me right away the 23 mail consists of ads, magazine, bills, and letters. So that's how the equation gonna end up looking. So ads plus magazines plus bills plus letters together, these four items together is going to equal to 23 pieces of mail. Okay? Because the 23 pieces of mail consists of four items, so if you add them up, it got to equal to 23. That's the idea. So the first sentence already told me how my equation going to look. Now my job is to find the three sentences. Four items, three phrases or sentences. Sentences. All right, ads, magazine, bills, and letters. Let's see. Next sentence. If they receive three more, right here, the word more. Three more magazine than bills. More than, right? Means more than means plus. If they receive three more magazine than bills, comma. Okay, we use comma to what? To separate between two different dependent clause. Okay. So there you go. That's your first sentence. If they receive three more magazines than bills, comma, five more letters than magazines, comma, and. So the and joining what? Along with other sentences or phrases or dependent clause to make a complete sentence. And the same number as bills, comma. So after the comma, you can see how many ads did they receive. That's the question itself. So other than the question itself, here are your three phrases you are looking for. Five more letters than bills, because this phrase has my translation word, and the same number as the bills. There you go. That's your three phrases you need to translate. So now, once you find the three sentences, comparing the item and determine who's the smallest amount. So let's back to the yellow. The yellow says three more magazines than bills. So that means magazine is bigger than the bills. Then the green one says five more letters than magazine. Five more letters than magazine. So that means letters is even bigger than magazine, which is bigger than bills. Then the blue one says the same number of ads as bills. So the ads and the bills are the same. So who is or who are the smallest amount? The bills and ads, because they are the same. So these two items got to be the smallest, and we let them to be X. So once we establish who's going to be the variable X, then we go backwards. The next bigger one is magazine. So which sentence, yellow or green, I need to translate next? Got to be yellow, because the yellow has magazine compared with bills. So the yellow one said three more. When I see three, I write three. So magazines is 3 more than means plus the bills, which is X. All right. Now the letters. 5 more than. Later is 5 more than who? When I see 5, I write 5, right? More than, I write plus. 5 more than who? The magazine. And what did I just translate for the magazine? 3 plus X. More than is not 3 times X, it's 3 plus X. So the letter is 5 plus the magazine, which is 3 plus X. So what's 5 plus 3 plus X? What is 5 plus 3 plus X? Please do not say 8X in your head because it's not 8X. It is 8 plus X, right? Not like terms. Cannot combine them. 5 plus 3 is 8. Still have positive X there. So the letters turn out to be 8 plus X. So be careful now. Don't say 8X. A lot of people do that. All right. So once I translate all my items and I know what my equation are gonna look like, I'm gonna write it out. So what's adds? Adds are X plus what's magazine we translated? 3 plus X. Bills is X plus what's the later? Later is really turned out to be what? 8 plus X, right? 5 more than the magazine, which is really 5 plus 3 plus X, which is 8 plus X. Together equal to 23. Voila, that's how you write out the equation. All right. Now I'm just going to treat this as a regular equation, okay? I'm just going to combine like terms, X plus X plus X plus X, 4X. Combine like terms. This is going to be 3, positive 3 plus 8, positive 11, equal to 23. All right, let's move my positive 11 to the other side, become negative. That means this is going to be 4x equal to what? 12. Divide both sides by 4, x equals 3. All right, and what does the problem want me to find? Right here, comma to question mark. How many ads did they receive? Ads is x, right? And I just found x to be 3. So how many ads did they receive? 3 ads. There you go. That's how you translate for more than 2 items. So in this lecture video, I show you how to translate for 2 items, and I also show you how to translate for more than 2 items. So basically, these type of problems, rather than think about what it says, I always like to show students how to break them down into sentences. Okay, if you got 4 items, that gotta be 3 phrases you're looking for, because when you hold up 4 fingers, there's 3 gap or 3 spaces between them. That's how we have 4 items. Okay, 4 items or 4 terms. That's the same concept. So you find the translation, you find the sentences that contains the translation words. If you know how many items you're dealing with ahead of time, it does kind of help out to narrow down the phrases that you need to translate. So rather than think about what the problem says, please translate for the items. All right, that will conclude this lecture video. Thank you for watching.